Hey, what's up guys, BriarRabbit here, and today I've got some tips for domination. These tips are going to be mainly focused around when you're playing solo. So you're not playing with a bunch of friends, you're not playing with a full team, you're just jumping into a public lobby, and you want to win. You know, it's frustrating to lose. Sometimes domination can feel like it's all about just, luck, because the whole team's really got to perform in domination. If you got 3 guys on your team that go 5-20, it is tough to win a game of domination. And frankly, I don't have any tips that can help you with that. That's just luck of the draw. What these tips are going to be about is trying to give your team the maximum impact. Be the best you can be, and hopefully that is the difference sometimes for winning and losing. So let's just jump right in, okay? So the first tip is talk, goddammit. Just talk to your teammates. Put the headset on. It's a team-based game. You have to talk. If you're not talking and the whole team is being silent, you're going to lose. There's nothing you can do about it. Even if the enemy team has 2 or 3 guys talking, they have a huge advantage over you. So let's say you get into a lobby and nobody's talking. Like, nobody. It doesn't matter. Keep talking, because even if they're not talking back, they're listening to what you're saying. They're hearing it. They might not be listening to it, but they're hearing it. And if you die on the A flag, well, now your whole team knows that there's an enemy team coming for the A flag, right? They're coming to your home base, let's say. Or if say you die at the B flag, then you could shout out, hey, there's 3 guys coming down the middle alley to the B flag. And now your team has that information. So even if they're not talking back, even if they're not communicating back with you, you still got to do it. This is the biggest tip that I can find, that I can give you for winning domination as a solo player, is be that guy who starts the conversation. A lot of times, people are just kind of quiet when they're playing. You know, you're in try-hard mode, you're not talking a whole lot, but it makes a huge difference, even if it's just one guy. And a lot of times what it does is it gets like everybody to kind of start opening up. You know, you start having a little success, and all of a sudden you got 3 or 4 guys talking. And then, you know what happens after that is all of a sudden you're in a post-game lobby, and hey, guys, let's stick together. That was pretty fun. And you start teaming up for, an hour or 2. That could be the way that happens. It's really fun that way too. So that's my first tip, and the biggest tip is talk, damn it. All right, number 2 is don't cap the enemy flag. Don't cap their home flag. A lot of guys do this in public matches. It's really, really common. It just doesn't pay off though, because let's say that you start off at A, you capture B, the enemy team is spawning at C. Well, if you go and cap C, then they're going to be spawning all over the damn place, oftentimes at A. So they're going to cap A, then they're going to still have a flag. So you're just mixing up the spawns. Where if you keep them at C, what you can do is you can hold down B. Let's say like 3 guys hold down B, and you got 3 other guys just swarming into their spawn killing them, or holding back, and by not taking away that C flag from their team, you'll keep them spawning there for the most part. If you do have, if you get a lot of teammates swarming in there, then the spawn will eventually swap out of their spawn. So it's actually best to kind of just hold down like a perimeter, and just like that way they can never get out of there. You'll just hold them to C. They can't get B. It's really difficult. I know everybody's been in a situation where this happened to them, and it is absolutely the hardest thing to overcome. So if you're talking to your teammates, you can make this happen. It works. It works every time. It is absolutely the best strategy for domination. Especially now with Black Ops 2, we have these very linear maps. In the past, we've had kind of the A, B, and C flags all kind of made a triangle. But now they make a straight line in a lot of maps, so it makes a big difference to not be flipping that spawn around. The next tip I have is, if you're a Slayer, what you really want to do is you want to be between the enemy spawn and the B flag. So you don't want to take their, let's use C as their spawn example again. You don't want to be taking that C flag. What you want to be doing is kind of hanging out kind of near it, but really between C and B. And then as the enemy team is coming to try and post up and trying to overtake B, you can be hitting them from the side and really doing massive damage to them. That allows the people on B to get clearer shots, because people have to move out of their cover to fight you off as a Slayer. I mean, it really perplexes an enemy team, and if that's the role you want to play, which is a perfectly legitimate role, you don't always have to be the guy that's capping flags all the time. If you just want to be a Slayer, that is a legitimate role, and it's a very valuable one. So, yeah, that's my third tip. Number 4 is don't call in your score streaks at the end of the first round. Everybody does this, right? Everybody makes this mistake. When you're calling in your score streaks, especially if they're big boys, like let's say you're calling in a lodestar and it's the end of the first round, man, that is just a completely wasted score streak. I know that if an enemy team does this to me, I'll just go inside and I'll just sit there and wait out the round, because I know that, you know, there's basically no point in me going outside. I'm not going to cap anything, and there's not enough time to really make a difference if I did cap anything, and I'm not going to be able to cap it anyway because there's a lodestar up or a stealth chopper up. So really, when you're calling in score streaks in the first round, you got to be really, really careful of the time. And if you got a lightning strike, don't just call it in randomly. Wait until you hear the announcer say, you know, they're taking the B flag. That is a good time to call in a lightning strike or, you know, a Hellstorm missile. So be cognizant of when you're going to call in your score streaks. And speaking of score streaks, make sure you run score streaks that are going to help your team. Get those UAVs, get those counter UAVs. Counter UAVs are very effective in Domination because it erases the enemy's mini-map, and it also, they can't see, you know, what flags are taken. They can't see any of that stuff. It's hugely, hugely influential in a game of Domination, more so than in Team Deathmatch or a game such as that or Kill Confirmed. Next up, I want to share just some class loadout tips that have really worked for me. The first one is run Flak Jacket. If you're going to be capping flags, Flak Jacket is the perk for you. Oh, that guy totally was hiding in the corner. Flak Jacket is huge because, you know, everybody knows you run onto a flag, you're sitting it out, and all of a sudden this random grenade comes flying over a building because it's somebody's last-ditch effort to try and save that flag. And if you're not running Flak Jacket, it's going to work. So run Flak Jacket. Maybe even run, what's it called? Tac Mask. Tac Mask is great. You know, sometimes it's hard to balance that one with dexterity or extreme conditioning in Domination, but you know, it is a valuable perk, and it's worth running in Domination. It's a pretty well-used perk. Next up, guns. Use whatever guns, you know, the most comfortable in your hands. Use your best gun, but try out Hardline. Hardline makes a huge difference. If you can double stack Flak Jacket and Hardline in that first perk slot, it's really valuable because not only are you not dying from grenades, but you're also earning score streaks faster. And that really helps out your team. You being alive helps out your team, and you earning score streaks helps your team. So that's a really, really nice kind of loadout for Domination. Also for equipment, C4 and smoke grenades are awesome. C4, you throw it ahead of you, try and clear out a bomb or a Domination site, right? You know, you see a couple guys on your mini-map, you throw it up there, you get 200 points, maybe even 300 points if they had equipment set up. It's really, really quick. It's really easy. Also, if it's just equipment, it's also really easy to just clear out equipment really fast. You don't have to, you know, aim pinpoint to get that little shock grenade or the bouncing Betty out of your way. How many times have you died while you're trying to line up your sight just perfect with a shock grenade? For me, it's been quite a number. With a C4, you just throw it in there, it blows everything up, and then you can move in undeterred. Next up, we have smoke grenades. Smoke grenades are amazing in Domination. What you do, everybody knows this, right? You chuck them over the flag. Try and actually chuck them between the flag and where you think your opponents are going to be coming from. That seems to work the best for me. If I chuck them right on the flag I'm trying to cap, then I can't see anything. And a lot of times you can't tell, but the enemy can actually see you in there. So what you do is you want to chuck them kind of between the flag and where you think the enemy is going to be coming from. That way they have zero visibility coming out of that smoke screen, but you can see them coming out, and you can get the drop on them, even though they're the ones moving. You're the one who sees them first, and that is really valuable. But it's all about placement with the smoke screen, so you really got to make sure that you're putting it in the spot that's going to work best for you. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's worth saying that practice is really valuable with Domination. You know, over time, you become more familiar with traffic patterns, where people are expected to come from, And that makes a big difference with Domination, more so than with Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed. If you're mainly kind of one of those Slayer game type players, Domination can be a little hard to get used to. It certainly was for me. But the more you play and the more you get used to the maps again, you'll see that people kind of follow the same routes. You know, there's usually 2 or 3 opening routes that you can pretty much expect everybody to run down. So it just bears saying that practice, you know, you might not have a lot of success right at the beginning, but your gun skills are still going to carry over from other game types. So don't get frustrated right at the beginning. Just kind of remember these basics. Again, it's hard. It's really hard to, you know, be the one guy that just wins a Domination game. It really is a team game. That, again, is why my first tip, the most important one, is you gotta talk. You have to communicate with your team. That makes Domination work. You know, it really does. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. Up on the screen here in just a second. Here it comes. There it is. On the left-hand side, we have the best weapon shootout playlist. This is I'm going through all the guns, comparing 2 guns at a time. Right now, it's really similar guns. In the next round, it's really going to be kind of more random guns that get compared until finally we come across the best weapon in Black Ops 2. On the right-hand side, it's 9 tips to beat lag compensation. If you're having trouble with lag compensation, check out this video. It might help you out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.